Good morning. I'm Kathleen, and you're watching Hiking with Kathleen. This channel is usually one that has lots of beauty in it and interpretation of the natural beauty, with my being a naturalist. But this week's episode is going to focus on how connecting with nature can help all of us so much, and the benefits that I've gained. For those of you who have felt some sense of loss during this COVID-19 pandemic, nature is a really great medicine. I hope you stay and join me on today's episode. I tend to review books using audio means. So there's one particular book that I found basically reinforced a lot of what I was thinking and feeling about nature, and I like the title. It's called The Nature Fix: Why Nature Makes Us Happier, Healthier, and More Creative. The author is Florence Williams, and she's also released a podcast called The 3-Day Effect, which talks about the effect that being in nature for 3 days in a row can have on a person. So those are things that I found were very helpful to me. Maybe that's something that you might connect with if it's a topic that's of interest. So for those who are living in southern Ontario and are having a difficult time with the restrictions that have been placed on our province, the people in the province, for the next 6 weeks, and right now it is April 17th. That takes us to about mid to late May, about May 20th or later, if they don't extend it. Nature's a really great way to help with any anxiety, help with the feeling of not being able to connect with people, and just to help you be in a very serene setting. Right now, I'm sitting along a creek. The brilliance of the spring colors are starting to pop all around me. And hopefully this is something that gives you some comfort at this time. Connecting with nature, I think, is just sort of an easy way to feel that you are thinking, living, existing in the moment. It's something that helped me through a really difficult time. This video is being made in honor of my mom, Irene, who passed away 1 year ago this month. She and I were very close. We enjoyed doing a lot of things together. And when she went into long-term care about 5 years ago, she moved, along with my father, from their hometown, our hometown, to the one I currently live in. And that way, I was able to become her primary caregiver. So while working full-time as a financial planner at the most stressful time, pretty well, of my career, because markets were plummeting in March 2020 in response to this state of a world pandemic. And on top of that, I was concerned and caring for my mother's needs with her medical professionals at her long-term care facility. So, to help me deal with that, the stress of my life at that time, and the grief after her ultimate passing, I found that walking the trails along the Thames River and other natural areas helped me to focus on being in the moment. So subsequently I retired a few months later. I'd already planned that out a year before, so that wasn't a surprise, but I had to choose my timing because my clients all needed me during the summer of 2020, the spring and summer, when everything was very stressful, uncertain, and finances became unknown. People who were clients were also going through a lot of loss of family, loss of jobs, perhaps loss of income. So when I retired, August 31st, 2020, it gave me a chance for the first time to focus on how I was feeling about the loss of my mom. She was definitely the nucleus of our family, and as I say, a person I was very close to. I hope that this gives you a feeling that there might be some solutions to help you when you're feeling particularly grief-stricken, maybe panicked over what's going on in the world right now, as we are in our third wave of this pandemic. And this might serve as a bit of a grounding for you. That's what my hope is by putting together this video for you today. there's fewer better gifts than the gift we have of time to spend in nature. For that period of time, it can help to put all your worries at bay while you're focusing on being in the present moment. Well, I wanted to share my journey with you and let you know that walking in nature almost every day of the week has certainly helped to turn my life around. And it's not that it was a life that was off the rails or anything like that, but it was a life that was immersed in stress. And I'd lived that way for about 5 years. So my mom, who was in long-term care for almost 5 years, had moved 5 minutes away from me, and she and I were very, very close. So I felt comforted by the fact that I could be there at a moment's notice, which I would often have to do because I would get called maybe in the middle of the night if she'd fallen or something like that had taken place. And so I would see her every day of the week and sometimes more than once a day. But that just gave me the assurance that she was, okay on a day-to-day basis. Or if my advocacy needed to take place, that I could be there to help encourage some of those changes. So when she passed away about a year ago, so this is the anniversary month that I'm recording this, April 2020 is when she passed away from dementia. It's been a difficult year, but it wasn't difficult just this year without her. Because with dementia, a person in time likely will forget their loved ones. And that started to happen in the final year and a half or so of her life. And so that was really difficult because we had such a close bond. But coming out to the woods, since my retirement in September, so after a few months of leaving financial services and retiring from that career, and my mom by that time had passed away, a few months earlier, I started going on my daily walks in the woods as a way of just being in the moment. And I'll tell you, I was walking through the woods in a fog for about 3 months. That's because I'd been living in a stressful existence for so long. And I guess that's the reason I wanted to reach out to you folks and let you know that nature has such wonderful healing properties, which have been documented. And it took me about 3 months of walking in the woods in a fog, wondering if it was a problem with my vision. So the glasses I rarely use anyway, I started wearing on my hikes. That didn't help. The only thing that helped was time in the woods. And so my hikes have varied from 2 to 4 hours a day, 5 days a week on average. And after those 3 months passed, it made a world of difference. And I was able to just feel like I was zeroing in on different sounds, different movements made by animals. And it brought the forest to life. And so I'm encouraging you to consider how nature's healing properties can help you as well, if there are things you're struggling with. I know in the past it had helped me with other hardships, breakups, that kind of thing. And that was back in the day when I was working in nature as a naturalist, as my paid career for 10 years. But the last 22 years, when I was a financial planner, I'd moved away from that. And Shannon and I, we both were working a stressful job, so we'd go for a walk around the neighborhood, and we felt that was helpful. But it doesn't compare with actually being in the woods, hearing the sound of birds and other animals, and the sound of water. So, for what it's worth, maybe give nature a chance to help you too. Thanks a lot for coming along on this journey today. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.